All right. Hello, everyone. This is Frosty Map, or the name of the channel, Frosty Craziness. So, there's this thing that's happening on YouTube right now, and it's not even a big thing. I've only seen two videos on this, and the two videos that I'm talking about, these are videos that I'm seeing, where the other video I'm seeing another group of content creators reacting to it. So the people that I'm talking about are Abba and Preach. They're reacting to a certain video that's addressing an issue that I had a lot of time trying to think about. I'm African. There's so many videos that I've posted where I say African dude Zimbabwean reacting to this. And I wanted to address the idea. A long time ago, I used to think that racism is not a big issue at all. But then after watching this, it really confirmed my doubts because I really want to believe that people are good, but then it's really silly to think that people are just good when a lot of things that are happening in the world are based on companies and all that. Because at some point we're getting to a point where governments are not going to have a lot of power, but companies do, because companies hold most of the decision making that clients make. I did business, I also did IT, and I think I see it from a unique standpoint. So we're going to look at this video that I've watched at least once, and then the other times I've been looking at specific parts. But for now, I'm going to be looking at this video with you guys so that you can see what I'm saying. I know for the most part, it's going to be like five people who are going to see this in 1 minute in, which is already where I've gotten to this point. But then this is something that needs to be out there. YouTube has a problem and it's racist. So let's look at it. Let's look at what Ab and Preach had to say. Because the second video that I was talking about, I said two videos. The other video is them reacting to a certain video. That's the second video that I'm talking about. So let's get into it.
Diversity, all this is fake.
It
None
is
of it's real.
fake.
It's never been real in my entire life. Whether it was the military, whether it was comedy, whether it was the art scene, whether it was the grant system, whether it was stand-up, whether it's YouTube, doesn't matter.
I
All
sped
this
up the
stuff
video.
is
I
just
sped up the
service.
video.
And they only care about money. The allegations I am levying towards YouTube are extremely serious, and I'm taking this video extremely seriously. YouTube, you guys either play favorites, you are
That's the
racist,
second video.
or it's a mix of the two. Here's my proof. I've been doing YouTube a long time, okay? I never want to be that guy, oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, these issues are happening because I'm black. There have been certain situations that I looked at kind of funny. I said, it could be because of that, but I'm not trying to press that. I don't want to build that narrative around my YouTube channel. This time, I can no longer let it slide. This is the situation. August 18th, I uploaded the mortuary assistant. A lot of you would know, it got age restricted. YouTube didn't tell me why. I saw that all these other YouTubers were playing the mortuary assistant, and only my video seemed to be age restricted. And I looked for like an hour, 2 hours. I was scrolling all different types of people's video. No one else's was age restricted. Just want to make something clear. Some of you might be looking like, yo, what's the issue with making these videos?
All right. So, if the reason why this is significant for me, it's because I remember around mid 2021, around this time, I didn't have a job then. I had my own type of thing where I used to tutor people, right? And then they would pay me. So that was basically my job at the time. And at that time, between the lessons that I would tutor people, because I had a lot of clients, that's when I used to make YouTube videos. If you go back and you look at this time, around this time, a little bit before this time, that's where I used to make a lot of YouTube videos. And I used to be able to make them because I didn't have a job. But then when I got a job, I stopped making videos. And then I remember about a week ago, if it's not a week ago, it's at most 2 weeks ago, I made a video reacting to Andrew Tate. That's probably a word that I shouldn't be saying right now because this video might be just flagged by saying that name. But then the funny thing was, I made a video about this dude, and then I noticed while I was uploading, I noticed the question, is this video made for children? And I was confused. I'm like, what do you mean made for children? I mean, in the past, you just let the video be out there and then they'll tell you whether it was, like back then, at least from what I remember, that was the idea. I was never asked specifically. And I remember if I was, I remember I had the choice not to answer or just to say that, leave it like that. But then I had to answer this time. I had to either say it was for children or not. So I didn't really understand why. So then that's why that's one of the reasons why this became significant to me. But yes, that's the basic idea behind it.
Not available to kids. First off, vast majority of us, when we upload, we say we don't want kids watching the video, so we already clicked that. But age restricted is a bit different. I don't know what it is with the algorithm, but if your video gets age restricted, it's probably going to get demonetized 99.9% of the time. One. And two, it also becomes all of a sudden less visible to vast majority of people, including your own subscribers. Whatever happens, if your video gets age restricted, it's pretty much shadow banned. So, just wanted to let y'all know. So I appealed the restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this? Appeal rejected. They doubled down. The policy team said, no, Corey, your video is restricted for good reason. We're not going to tell you why, but it's restricted. That's our final decision. I said, okay. I give my YouTube rep. I sent him an email. Hey, could you look at this? There's some weird stuff going on. Only my video got age restricted. My YouTube rep, who isn't on the policy team, he looked at my video and he said, hey, it could possibly be this part at the end where the woman was battling some depression. And I'm just going to leave it there, lest this video also get age restricted just because I'm talking about it. So I looked at that part. The first thing I did was try to find other YouTubers who had that part, or at least a part similar. Now, Markiplier, I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I just want you to know I have a lot of respect for you, and I didn't mean to drag you into the middle of this. Your channel just happens to be a great reference point because A, you're a really big YouTuber, and you're not black. Hey, listen, my...
And you know what? You know what? This is true. This is true. Now, I would have to go check, and let me, while I'm talking about it, let me actually go to the video itself, and then actually, while I'm explaining, I can tell you. So then what happened was there was this video that I reacted to, like before the movie Spider-Man No Way Home came out. I was really, really, really excited by that movie. And then my little brother sent me a link to the trailer, the first trailer to that video, and to the trailer. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to react to this to my channel, right? And I did. I reacted to that video. But then the moment I posted the video, because when I posted it, I was just like, you know what, let it upload. I'm in Africa, I'm in Zimbabwe, my internet is not that fast. It was one of those things where I let it upload. And then after it uploaded, what happened was it took a second before I then realized that this video, there's something wrong with this video. So right now I'm looking at the video, this video over here. It's got 7 views, right? I don't have a lot of views. I'm new to this. So this is the video, 7 views. And then the other one is 24, 18, blah, blah. I don't have a lot of views. I accept that. That's fine. I was always hoping that I would get views later on. But this video got copyright struck, right? But then, like I said, after some time, I didn't really think about it the same way this dude that Abba Preacher reacting to. I didn't really think about it as if, you know, that type of thing where you'd say, well, what other people's reactions look like? But then I started watching other people react because I like watching those videos. And I'm like, are they thinking the same thing that I'm thinking? Are they thinking about the same theories that I'm thinking? So that's why I watch reaction videos. And then I watch the other ones. And I'm really thinking about it now. I've never, like, all these other people, yes, the videos were heavily edited. But for me, I would pause and talk, pause and talk, pause and talk. So I thought that was enough. Maybe it wasn't. But then these people, other people, especially the bigger YouTubers, and especially the non-people who look like me YouTubers, their videos would go on and there were no issues. So then that's one thing that I really thought about. And then when Abba and Preach made this comment, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's actually a very good assessment because that's the same thing that happened to me. Now, I don't have a lot of subscribers or like 35 subscribers, so it doesn't really matter. For someone like me, it doesn't matter, but it's something that you need to think about as well. And I'm not saying every small YouTuber who's like me should think like, well, I'm not getting enough views because of this and that. For me, I know I need to work on my delivery and stuff that I say. Sure, I get that. But then it's something that to really think about because for me, I got the copyright strike. It could have been automatic. It could have been automatic. But then I'm like, why? Everyone else has that. Unless if they had to also, you know, appeal and all that. Because I had to appeal and remove a section. I just don't remember what section it was because this happened a year ago. So then I was like, you know what? I'll just remove whatever section they want because it's like 25 seconds. But then 25 seconds, I mean, come on. Is Sony going to lose a lot of views and money from me, a dude with 35 subscribers? Think about that. Like really think about that. But let's go on.
Like, brother, I needed to use you to make my point. And B, you're not black. So I can look at your channel. And I appreciate Corey Kinson. He's like, let me just give you some flowers before I tell you the truth. So I can look at your channel, and then I can look at my channel, or look at anyone else's channel, and make sure that the things and the games that you play, all that they're enforcing the rules equally to everybody. So I go to Markiplier's Mortuary Assistant Part 3, and he had the same situation going on, and his video wasn't age restricted. So I send the video to my YouTube rep. I say, hey, Markiplier has this situation in his video, but his isn't age restricted. Could you send that to the policy team and see what they say about that? He said, wow, Corey, that's some astute detective work. Let me send this to them and see what they say. What do you think happened after that? I'll give you a second. They came back, and they removed my age restriction. They took it off after they...
This is suspect. Suspect. Why? Think about it. Think about it. I steal, right? Let's remove race from this. Let's remove race from this. I steal something. Doesn't matter what it is. I steal something. I go into a shop and I steal it. And then they arrest me. And I tell them that some specific dude, a specific one, because Markiplier is a very specific person when it comes to YouTube. We take a specific person, and I say that person stole the exact same thing that I stole. Why are you arresting me? Then they let me go. That is suspect. I'm gonna leave it like that. That's basically the analogy that I have. I steal something that someone else who's bigger and more significant than me steals, and then the moment I point it out that but this other person stole it, then you let me go. You wouldn't. It's like grape. You grape someone, and then you say someone else graped this exact same person, or maybe graped did the exact same crime of graping someone. Then you let me go. You wouldn't let me go. So what the heck? They won't even let that person go. So that's why I'm saying this is suspect. I really didn't think about it like this because I always wanted to think that most white people are not like this, of which I still believe that. But then when you're looking at an organization, I always thought that an organization is made up of people, and these people help each other make decisions. But then obviously it's not like that. When you're looking at it like this, it's not like that. So yeah, let's continue.
Already rejected my appeal. I sent them the clip of Markiplier's video that has the same thing, and they removed it. Now, my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh, great, this is awesome. Look, Corey, they took the age restriction off. I said, why?
The reason why he probably mad and why I would get mad is like, oh, when I appealed it, you're like, nah, get back in your corner.
Yeah.
When I said, but when you let this white boy through, you're like, oh, okay, actually, you know what? Both y'all can get through.
Yeah, exactly. I sped up the video, right? But then what Abba just said there is I I'm this type of person, and you restricted it. But the moment I say, what about this other type of person? You then are like, oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. I mean, it's no longer about just me uploading. It's more about what I look like or what I am, which is BS. To be honest, it's just the biggest load of BS that I've seen. And if you know my country, you know that if I say this is a big load of BS, it's not going to be the biggest BS that's going to be out there, but it is the BS. It's just basically BS enough that I have to recognize it. I don't have to, but then I did.
We don't want to have to go to such lengths just to get shit fixed. Because then we start looking at you funny. You gonna say?
You know what it looks like?
What does it look like?
Shut up and dribble. Shut up and go back in your corner and dribble. Shut up. You're getting this money. You're not gonna... Yeah, we're gonna look back on this one, so let me just fix it. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I expected them to triple down and give Markiplier an age restriction too. But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence. So I sent my YouTube rep a lengthy email
Verify
detailing
his
my
innocence.
feelings about the entire situation. Actually, number one, was it automated or was it a human that age restricted it in the first place? Number two, who was the human reviewer that doubled down and rejected my appeal? Number three, why did it take Markiplier's clip in order for them to reverse the decision? My YouTube rep gets back with me. He wants to hop on a call. We get on the phone for about 10, 15 minutes, and I tell him, I've been feeling like this for a long time. I've been feeling like every single time that I come back to YouTube, I'm number one trending for a few days, and then they find some arbitrary issue. They nitpick and they try and find something that they can incriminate me for and try to push me down. You don't believe me? What happened the last time I came back and I was number one trending for like a week? They copyright strike me for a video that was in 2019 or something like that. So my YouTube rep assures me he's going to continue this dialogue with the policy team and try to get some answers to those 3 questions that I had. So another day, another 2 days go by, and what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted.
It's not. So, oh my gosh! Like I've watched this video before, but I'm like, okay, let's unpack this. Let's forget Abba and Preach. You know, they're far more intelligent. They're in the West right now, like, right? They're like in the West, and now I'm just a dude in Africa. You know, we're in the bushes right now, like me with my smartphone in the bushes, like, and I'm trying to think about this, and I'm like, okay, so you punish. Let's use the word punish. You punish someone for doing something bad, and then you unpunish them saying, well, we made a mistake because this other person did the exact same thing, so it must not be a bad thing because they did it. But the moment I start asking questions on why would you even punish me in the first place, and then wait for someone else who did it to verify it, then you punish me again. Woo! This is too much. Like I'm like, whoa, look at Preacher's face. Preacher's face is like, what the heck? Look at this. Look at this. It's like, what are you talking about? What just happened here? Because this guy, it seems like he's been punished for being like, are you digging? My man, are you digging? So yeah, I'm like, whoa. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what else.
Patty, 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 Patty! Patty!
Oh, you gonna expose me? You gonna expose me? Well, then fuck you then. age restricted.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And you know
that's
what?
A back, forth, and forth. That's some back and forth shit.
And if you
That's
can't
crazy.
imagine how fucking annoying, at the end of the day, these are first prompts. But as somebody who's trying to create content, you don't understand these lines. They make no goddamn sense. Bro, I remember one time I uploaded a video and I took the thumbnail that the cut was using and I used the exact same thumbnail on my video. My video got flagged for the thumbnail. The fucking video in question had over 30 million views. I said, yo, there's got to be a mistake. I went on my cell phone. Let me log into this because I got ad block on computer. I can PC Max Stories. Think I'm gonna watch some ads? Please watch ads. Think I'm gonna watch some ads? Are you stupid? Me? But on my cell phone, let me support. I go on this video. Ads through the wazoo, State Farm, out my butthole. Playing. I'm cool with
But
it.
you're not gonna get monetized.
Our video, limited ads, age restricted. For the thumbnail, it's the exact same fucking thumbnail. And my experience on YouTube is when it comes to demonetization, age restriction, you get zero to little, like to no help.
Explanations.
They don't explain anything. They don't explain. They used to do a thing where they would tell you the reason. Now they don't even do that. They just said we've confirmed that it's not suitable for all advertisers. So you sitting there like.
And to be honest, I remember because I work as a tutor. I think I gave that away a way back, and we're talking about computer ethics because I teach computer science, and one of the code of conduct that a company owes to an employee is they tell the employee what they can do and what they cannot do. And it's the same thing. You can't punish me, tell me that I'm not supposed to do something, but then when we go back to the initial negotiations like terms and service and all that, I didn't do any of the things that you say I shouldn't do. Then you punish me. But then because it's a broad spectrum, especially when you say something like you violated community guidelines, I don't even know. Okay, which guideline you're not going to tell me? How am I supposed to improve? Well, of course you're not supposed to improve. You know exactly what you said that we don't like. You didn't violate anything, but you said what we don't like. That's basically what happened. And then they just cut you off. And this happens everywhere. You go to a party or friends, blah blah, you say something, cut you off. It happens. And they might not be friends, it might be colleagues or something, or people that have a certain vested interest in you. And then you say something that they don't like, they cut you off. Happens everywhere.
Guessing like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this video? You start censoring words, not like I'm yelling slurs. It's not even that. They just get weird about stuff you can't even understand. All right, so when you guys see us avoiding certain words, it's because if we don't, it's not even just about the money. It's not even just about that. If we don't, the video doesn't get seen.
It's not even the money. It's just you seeing the video. A lot of you guys. Have you noticed there was a trend a couple of years back that people are always, all these YouTubers were always saying, please make sure that you click on the bell. Make sure that you click on the bell.
Okay, so when look at they don't care about
YouTube does this
diversity.
like corny thing where they have like black voices. And I've sent, because my YouTube rep has sent me the link, apply for black voices and stuff. I've never applied for it. It's basically a grant that you get a certain amount of money, help you produce videos, et cetera, et cetera. I've sent it to other creators who are a little bit small, who don't have a partner. I'm like, you guys might want to jump on this. It'll help you guys get some cash and stuff. The reason why is I know, one, I probably won't get accepted, okay? And two,
Damn, I wish I had that.
but they don't want you to be outside of what their box is. You get what I'm trying to say? They want to, like, include black folks in a lot of ways.
As long
But
as
if you
black
talk
folks,
a
they
certain way, you use certain words, they start to look at you funny. I have times where YouTube is talking about, we want to make sure we're supporting minorities through these difficult times and blah, blah, blah. Every video that we ever did on any police interaction, crazy footage or not, and most of the time we didn't even put any crazy footage in, age restricted, demonetized, couldn't be viewed. So even the stuff that we do want to talk about that affects your community, YouTube like goes out of their way to make sure that shit not possible. Meanwhile, I got a bunch of white political commentators who can say anything about any topic and this shit always pass. Me on the outside looking in, this is what I think. It's not my platform. I'm gonna take from this what I can get. I'm not gonna beg. I'm not gonna piss it on. I'm not gonna cry. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Listen, I've seen enough of this shit my whole fucking entire life. Let me get mine and keep it put.
All right, so I agree with these dudes, man. I mean, I'm not going to expel all my stuff to you guys. I don't really have to, but then I can say that as an average dude in a world where average is not really seen as enough, I can say that when you look at life and you do certain things, you go to work, you do this and that. Like for me, I have to go to work, I have to do side hustles, I need to do all these things to get my stuff together. Like for example, if I need to get my car maintained, well, I have to have a side hustle because my own job won't support it. If I want to, buy something, like for example, my phone died last year, I was glad to have a side hustle so that I can buy a new phone because my phone was just dead and I needed a new one. Stuff like that. When I needed a new computer, a new device like my tablet, stuff like small stuff like that. It's not like I bought like an iPad plus. I bought a simple tab stuff do like that. I'm not trying to complain. I'm just trying to say that as a life as an average dude, Yeah, it's average. You're not going to have enough to buy all the things that you need, not want, need. You're not going to have enough to do that, but then you're going to have enough to do as much as you can so that you survive and you don't cry about your day, right? But then it's funny that you accept that life it is what it is, because obviously, when it comes to resources in the world, you're not going to have enough to go around, and then you have to accept that, okay, fine, this is as much as I can get, and I'll take that instead of just fighting it. I'll just take as much as I can take and then be cool with that. And I think this is something that you need to have with this platform. Like, it's not like I started YouTube and thinking that I'm gonna get 1,000 subscribers within a week and then 50,000. It's not like I was thinking that would be nice to have, but I'm just going to post videos, show my thoughts and certain things from my perspective, because I've come from a different perspective. So there may be people want to hear that, fair and fine, that's fine. But then this is too much, eh? this is this is too much. Because I'm now thinking, like, as much as I've been preaching saying this is okay, but then they always preach about diversity. I mean, they ruined so many movies. They ruined Thor for me, for the sake of diversity, getting women in there, blah blah. But then that same diversity is supposed to benefit me as a black dude, right? It's supposed to benefit me. I had to see Thor be destroyed. Like, there's a scene in the movie where they strip him naked. They ruin the god Zeus for me, because Zeus was always this devious, most powerful type of god type of figure. They Because he's a white dude, they basically destroyed him to make him seem like a buffoon who likes going to orgies. Like, that's his character in that movie. Imagine having Zeus in a movie. And even though he doesn't have to have a big role, he's the type of dude where he's supposed to be bad because he's white, so then they make him a dude that likes orgies. What's so bad about liking orgies? Because you're taking advantage of women. Because in order to have an orgy, you have to have more than one. So no, you're not only oppressing one white or black woman, you're oppressing more than one. You must be such a devil, but you're a god. So let's present you as a god that's bad, and because you're white and you're a dude, that makes you extra bad. You know, whatever, man, whatever. But let's see what they have to say. Loading,
Be
loading,
very shrewd about
loading.
your shit.
In all my years, have never seen a video get age restricted, de-age restricted, and then age restricted again. Have any of you ever seen that happen before? They saw that I saw that there was some unfair stuff going on, so then they tried to appease me by de-age restricting the video.
Look good.
Why is my channel so much more heavily scrutinized than my peers? My peers, and when I say peers, I mean people around my level, around my view count, just to keep it simple. Why is my channel so much more thoroughly scrutinized? Especially so when I've been #1 trending multiple days in a row, which I've done multiple times. And every single time I start to get an uptick in traction, an uptick in activity, here comes YouTube coming through. Hey, let's get for that video from 2019. Yeah, you see this, Corey? No, this is bad. It wasn't bad the 9 months that I was off the platform. It was only bad when I got back and I was #1 trending. Every other YouTuber has uploaded the mortuary assistant. And now they're about to start putting in some age restrictions because I called them out on some unfair behavior. Now I realize that when you call someone this, that's a very, very serious accusation. And for that matter, how do you expressly prove that someone is a rapist? I mean, unless they're spamming the N-word in the chat. How do you really know?
Corey, let me ask, how do you feel about the KKK?
Well, I'd like to know what Ab and Preach think if the KKK had a YouTube channel. You mean like the
I'm gonna
KKK?
let this one
It
play.
sounds like something I said like a day ago. I'm saying, you want to know the truth? And this is something that black people echo. You know what black people are really tired of? We're tired of innuendo when it comes to racism. We're tired of like the subversive stuff. You know, the stuff where people act. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so this is going to be my last point on this. So yesterday, because my routine for the day these days after I got my job last year was I go to work, come back home, chill, relax, and then I have to study for some exams that I'm doing. I'm doing some exam. Like, it doesn't matter what time it is. Even if I finish some other exam, I've got another exam that I'm doing. So then it's one of those things where I got used to the routine of getting home watching YouTube videos. And yesterday, before I even got home, when I still had time when I was at work, because what I do is I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm watching something. So I saw a video from Abba and Preach, and here's the thing: with Abba and Preach, these are people that I watch nearly as much as they post. They post something I'm looking at, even if it's a topic that I'm not interested in. I might watch like the first let's say 3 minutes of the video. If it's something that I'm not really interested in, like 3 minutes would tell me that this is something that I don't care about, then I might stop watching. But there's a high chance because of their comedy, I might continue watching. And this time they were talking about something else that really doesn't really matter. But then it's now feeding into this where H3H3 or L3L3. Loser 3, loser 3. What he did was he was basically trying to argue an idea that this is something he's basically trying to say as a black person you need to accept this. So what does he do? He brings up the KKK, the triple K type what BS, right? And then I'm like, you don't have to do that. It's like it's like giving you a reason to hate something, even though that reason is not what you were talking about right now. And then they said this yesterday before this video was uploaded. Now I can understand that with people you can schedule a video like 10 days in advance. You can do that, but then come on, like and this is something that they said yesterday, and then they're like, you know what, this is what this guy is doing, and then the next video they're talking about a separate situation, but the vibe is exactly the same. As a black person, you should look at things like this, right? And then if you don't, we punish you in some way. So that's basically the idea. That was it. I'm like, what's going on? But then yeah, that's basically it. This is the world that we live in. But yeah. But Abba called it. I'm going to say it. Abba called it. He called it so many times. And then in the same video from yesterday, when he said that this guy seems like he's only saying KKK when he wants to appeal to me because I'm so dumb as a black person, I should only understand. So I'll give you an example that you understand. Then he does it again in the same video with a different black person. He didn't do it with any other person that's not black. He did it with another black person.